All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. If you need a roof, make sure you call Ireland Contracting. They're the best in the business. I would call them if I would need a roof. It's 1-800-NEW-ROOF. Easy number to remember, 1-800-NEW-ROOF. Give us a call right now on the Borders and Borders hotline, 412-575-2600. We'll continue our Bucko talk here with Paul Zeise. And, you know, the Pirates' run differential right now is minus 86. And they're playing above their run differential, Paul. I think they're lucky to be 30 and 36 or whatever happens tonight. It's 6 delayed 7th right now. You know, if you look at their expected win-loss record, it would be around 24, 25 wins. So with that run differential, and you know, I know they might spin. They've gotten blown out. It seems like every other game. And it's because of the pitching staff.
It's the absolute dumbest thing I've ever heard is the stuff they're running out there about, oh, well, you know, you take 7 or 8 games out of the equation. Well, you can't take 7 or 8 games out of the equation.
Yeah, yeah. You know, look, Paul, I talked about this the last few days and with Gene that he was here. I'm ready. I want them to be transparent. You know, I want them to come out and not spin anything, not call it a retool. You know, call it a rebuild. Just say, look, you know, this is what we got to do right now. Injuries hurt us this year.
Right.
We're going to try to build. Next year might not be great, but work with us. We're going to trade Starling Marte, Corey Dickerson.
That will not work.
Yeah, because of their history, it wouldn't work.
You can't say work with us next year because this was a team that had a shot maybe to do something a little bit this year. And here's the thing. Okay, so you trade Marte. Okay, you're going to trade Dickerson or, you know, whatever. He'll go. Dickerson will be gone. Marte will be gone. Cabrera will be gone. Who else? You know, probably is. What's Jordan Lyles? I think he's a one-year guy too.
Francisco Cervelli's gone.
Cervelli's gone. What's Lyles' contract?
I don't know if it's 1 or 2 years. I'd have.
Point is, you know, but you still have Josh Bell.
Well, only for 3 more years. He's a Boris guy.
I'm talking about for next year. You've got Josh Bell in place. You've got Frazier in place. If Newman keeps doing what he's doing, you got him in place. Okay? You've got to go get a third baseman.
What about Ke'Bryan Hayes? Is he ready to?
Ready to come up, you bring him up. Okay? So you're not that far away. Diaz is your catcher, and he's having a pretty good year. And you got
Newman can move over to second if you have Cole Tucker.
But you've got Reynolds, and you've got Polanco.
Polanco.
I mean.
So maybe keep Marte.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm the Pirates, I'm looking at that team and say, if I keep Marte, even though it's going to cost $11.5 million or whatever, if I keep Marte, I've got Marte, Polanco, Reynolds. I still got a pretty good outfield. I got a pretty good infield. And you know what? You hope that Trevor Williams is healthy all of next year and Tyline's healthy all of next year. You hope Musgrove is better. I don't know what you do with Archer, though.
I wanted to ask you about that.
I don't know what you do, but here's the thing.
Is this a failure? Are you ready to say it's a failure with him?
Not yet, but it's getting there. But my thing is, if you look at what he is and who he is, okay, here's the thing. What do you do with him? Because you traded half you traded half of your system to get the guy.
Yeah.
So if you turn around and you get rid of him, I mean,
you're not going to get anything for him.
No, you're not.
That's why I wouldn't trade him.
My point is, here's the thing. If you look at that team, they only need a couple of pieces, and they're there. They really only need a few more pieces. A bullpen guy, maybe 2 more starters. A bullpen guy, 2 more starters, and, you know, a couple of bench guys.
So my biggest complaint is they need to spend some money. They need to spend some money and go and get these guys.
And that's really what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because if they try and say we're trading Marte, we're getting rid of Dickerson, we're doing this, we're doing that, and everything, fans will not trust that they're going to replace those guys. So, you know, if you're not going to replace those guys, you're basically telling us that you're going to rebuild. And the problem is every time you rebuild and get to a certain point, you're not willing to spend the money to get over the top. So why should we buy a rebuilding system, rebuilding project now?
Yeah, because they didn't do it in 2016. All right, Jeff out in Portage. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, Rich, Paul, how you doing?
Good, thanks for calling.
Just 2 quick things. I heard you guys talking about Keller, you know, had 9 batters in the first inning, but when I was watching it, I might be wrong, but they should have had 2 outs if they weren't in that stupid, idiotic shift that they always got to go to.
Well, they play the
they lost.
percentages. This is what this team's been doing for a few years now. That's how they can win games. And if a guy hits 90% of his balls to right field, then you shift over that way. I don't mind the whole shift thing, Paul.
I don't necessarily either, but my thing is, I cannot believe that more teams aren't, like working hard in the off season and spring training and everything else to get their guys to be able to beat the shift.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
Like there's no reason, if you've been a guy that they've shifted on for 3 years, there's no reason why you should still not, why you can't hit the ball the other way.
I 100% agree with you, and I think it's now this day and age in baseball where guys are just trying to hit it out of the park. And I think that's why the shift works. But if guys weren't trying to hit a home run every time at bat, that they potentially could learn how to hit opposite field.
Yeah.
All right, Pete out in Squirrel Hill. What's up, Pete?
Tonight.
Pete, you there?
Yeah, guys, how are you tonight?
Good, how are you?
Hey, Paul, I'm in 100% agreement with you. Those pirate announcers, we know they're employed by the organization, but some of the statements they make during games make it difficult to watch 9 innings. For instance, last night, Bob Walsh says, Starling Marte, when he's playing like this, he's as good as anybody in baseball. You can say that about Joe Schmo. They play 162 games. Everybody gets hot from now and then. Look at his career numbers, Paul. He's never hit 300. He's never driven in 100. His career high for homers as last year was 20. And now, off of 2 weeks, he's as good as anybody in baseball. That is laughable. Thank you.
Pete, thanks a lot for your call. He's not even as good as Andrew McCutchen was when he was in his heyday up here. I do like Starling Marte. He's a good outfielder.
He can be frustrating, though, can't he?
Yes, yes.
The things he does, it's just some of the things he does just frustrate you because you almost feel like he's an enigma, and that sometimes he's aloof, and sometimes it looks like running around the bases, he's just very. He just uses very low IQ, baseball IQ sometimes.
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't care sometimes.
It's just, sometimes he hits the ball and he just sort of jogs and, then all of a sudden he realizes he has a chance and he tries to stretch it into a double and gets, thrown out. I mean, he's a really talented player who just doesn't seem like he's ever lived up to his talent.
Yeah, I don't think he's a face of the franchise type guy. Josh Bell could potentially be that. Andrew McCutchen was that. You need a superstar besides Starling Marte. He's a good complementary player, but he's not a superstar for a team. He's not a guy that I think fans just come out and see, Paul.
Right.
All right.
He could be, but he isn't. But you're right.
All right, we got to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls, some of your tweets coming up next day right there.